The Nestle Bunny might have started as a friendly children's mascot, but LEGO turned it into something way worse. Released in 2001, Quickie the Bunny might have just seemed like your friendly neighborhood cereal mascot. But after removing her mask, a super creepy pale face is revealed. Number 2. This is the Beijing postcard set, which shows a postcard-like scene of Beijing, China, with the Great Wall of China in the background. But there's one thing in this set that makes it literally illegal to own in China. And no, it's not the temple, the clouds, or even the flower. Believe it or not, in China, it's illegal to sell their national flag. This caused the set to get pulled from shelves and get an entire remake just to remove it. That being said, if you ever get your hands on the original set, you're in big trouble. Number 3. And you're in even bigger trouble if you own this fan-made LEGO set that made LEGO so mad that they had to issue a public statement. See, Breaking Bad is one of the biggest shows of all time, and after a fan made this custom Breaking Bad LEGO set, LEGO had to publicly say that it wasn't official because that show is known for some pretty illegal stuff. Number 4. This set is no better though, because it's literally racist. Originally called the Red Indians, this set depicts Native Americans having red skin, which, if you didn't know, is a big no-no. With every other LEGO minifigure being yellow, and these being made red, it makes sense why it's considered offensive to so many people, especially Native Americans themselves. Come on, LEGO, I expected better from you. Since then, they've tried to remove all evidence of the set existing, but what happens on the internet stays on the internet forever. Number 5. The Everyone is Awesome set was meant to be inclusive and make everyone happy, and I don't even think you can blame LEGO for what happened next. The set features 11 minifigures next to one another, each in a different color, making up a rainbow, which was made to show support towards the LGBT+ community. But soon after their release, China and Russia both removed them from their shelves for being too sensitive of a topic. LEGO has a history of promoting positive values, such as creativity, learning, and inclusivity, and the Everyone is Awesome set was supposed to be an extension of this tradition, providing children and adults alike with a playful means of celebrating and understanding diversity. But it clearly didn't work out. But if you thought these bands so far have been crazy, just wait until you see number 8. Number 6. And this crazy LEGO piece is probably the smallest out of this whole list. This is LEGO piece 32557, and the reason for its ban is kind of obvious. I don't know who at LEGO came up with the idea to make a piece literally look like, well, you know. The piece came in 5 different colors, but the most popular one was red. And you know what else is red? That subscribe button! So you should hit that before we move on to the next set, which is number 7. The Simpsons LEGO set. While it might just look like a perfect depiction of my favorite cartoon, actually it was one of the most controversial sets in LEGO history. You see, while the set might seem like just another LEGO partnership, it had parents all around the world outraged because The Simpsons are not known for being the most family-friendly show. This resulted in LEGO literally being forced to get rid of the set. Number 8. Coming in at number 8, LEGO made the most inappropriate minifigure in the company's history. Now, we all know that Star Wars is a legendary movie, but LEGO took things a step too far with 3 different controversial Princess Leia bikini minifigures. The drama got so big that even news channels on TV started talking about the toy. LEGO soon had to ban these sus figures, and since then, they've become super rare and a really hot item for collectors, if you know what I mean. Number 9. Remember when I said that these only got crazier? Well, I was not lying, because this next set faced criticism from some groups who claimed that Jabba's palace resembled a historical mosque. Despite the set's idea literally coming from Star Wars, LEGO were the ones who faced the backlash. LEGO later decided not to resell the set after 2013, although they did mention that the decision was not directly related to the controversy, which I think is total cap. But if you think that one was crazy, you definitely don't want to miss the sets that we've got coming up. And this is probably the creepiest set on the list, known as LEGO Fabuland. It was made for younger children and featured animal characters that looked more like strange cartoons than LEGO figures. I mean, come on, what the heck is this? The unsettling and kinda freaky designs led to its downfall, and the line was discontinued. LEGO tried to target younger kids, but instead, all they really did was give them nightmares. Number 11. But LEGO didn't stop with their stupid ideas there, because after failing to reach the younger kids, they dropped the LEGO Belleville line, which was launched to get more girls into the world of LEGO. However, the giant pieces and doll-like figures were a huge mistake. I mean, this looks like if a Barbie was made out of Play-Doh. Come on, LEGO! The sets literally only get worse, and it is no wonder why this set was banned. Number 12. But if you thought LEGO was finally done making scary-looking designs, you're unfortunately completely wrong, because this next set turned SpongeBob from a family-friendly sea sponge living in his little pineapple under the sea to an evil toy that caused nightmares. You see, this Build-A-Bob set allowed you to build a huge SpongeBob that featured a customizable mouthpiece and the ability to move his eyes. But just after its release, the whole set was banned from being put on shelves because their deal with SpongeBob was lost to their competitor, Mega Bloks, which is probably for the best because this thing looks just freaky. I don't want creepy SpongeBob watching me in my room while I sleep. And instead of adding someone who made sense like Patrick or Mr. Krabs, LEGO just made things worse by adding Plankton to the set. I mean, come on, he's literally the worst person on the whole show. Number 13. Now, speaking of SpongeBob, Squidward's pretty cool and all, but LEGO's version had a hidden face that was pure nightmare fuel. It was way too weird for the kids, and the creepy design was apparently too inappropriate, leading to its ban. While the Squidward mask might just make him look like the squid from Bikini Bottom, when you take it off and reveal the real minifigure head, you literally get met with this. The widest eyes on Earth and a really creepy smile are simply just unsettling, so it makes sense why he got banned so quickly. Number 14. It really seems like LEGO hates Hollywood, because they just do not stop failing sets with TV shows and movies. This is LEGO Indiana Jones, which was banned literally right after its release, which is probably the most confusing thing LEGO ever did. For months and even years, fans were wondering why this set was banned from shelves, because LEGO literally had an Indiana Jones video game, so it should make sense for them to keep the set too, right? Well, no. The reason for the set's cancellation was revealed in 2020, and it's because the movie it was based on is considered racist, which apparently upset LEGO fans around the world. But when this next set got banned, no one seemed to care. Number 15. I'm sure you've probably seen a Shell gas station before. I mean, there's literally over 45,000 of them in over 90 countries, and this is the LEGO Shell set. It was made as a mini representation of a real Shell gas station, and was one of the most common sets seen in nearly every Shell gas station around the world. But Shell made a huge mistake, which ended up with the whole set being banned. They announced that they were going to start digging for oil in the Arctic, which is a big no-no for LEGO. They couldn't just stand by while one of their partners destroyed the habitats of penguins and polar bears. So they pulled out of the deal and banned the Shell set forever, which is kind of unfortunate because the set was also in partnership with Ferrari. But who knows? Maybe LEGO will drop a Ferrari set in the future. Number 16. But at least that set wasn't dangerous, because one time, a part of a pirate-themed set, the Huntsman LEGO knife, became a controversial piece. Its realistic appearance and potential to encourage dangerous activities sussed out parents and teachers. Despite its popularity among children who loved its unique design, the knife was unfortunately banned from shelves. It remains a part of LEGO's Hall of Fame and will never be forgotten. But you can't tell your kids to not do anything dangerous and then literally give them a sharp toy. I mean, LEGO was just asking for trouble with that one. And this set could have been one of the most valuable sets in LEGO history. Not a whole lot is known about the LEGO Sand Tarakawa from the Bionicle series, other than the fact that it never made it out of the prototype phase. There is only one of these prototypes known to exist, and it's owned by a guy named Mark. This is where things get crazy. You see, LEGO collectors have valued this prototype at $29,000. That's even more than some cars. This is the original concept for a Phineas and Ferb LEGO board game. The reason that this set was never released is still a mystery. But a popular theory is because of its genuinely scary design of Harry the Platypus. I mean, in this picture, his eyes are completely white and look nothing like the Perry that we know and love. What we do know is that this set was eventually reworked to a Batman board game, which was essentially the same set, just with the theme swapped to Batman. But this next set comes from one of the most popular LEGO themes ever. Take a look at the LEGO Ninjago Serpentine train. This set is based off of the Serpentine Express from the LEGO Ninjago TV series. The train had functioning wheels and could actually be driven around. It had potential to be one of the best sets in the entire LEGO Ninjago theme. Unfortunately, LEGO canceled it without any real explanation why. I personally think that LEGO made a big mistake here, but let me know what what you think down in the comments. Anyways, let's move on to the LEGO Spider-Man wrestling scene. Another set that had high potential, but the reason it got cancelled is a little different to all the others. You see, this set was modeled after the scene where Peter Parker is just starting to understand how to use his powers, and despite being the underdog, he successfully defeats one of the strongest professional wrestlers, Bonesaw McGraw. Unfortunately, LEGO decided that it was too similar to other sets that had already been released, which put them in a really sticky situation. Get it? Sticky? You know, cause like Spider-Man? Okay, never mind. While all the canceled things we've gone over so far were sets, this next one is an entire theme that LEGO decided to cancel, known as the Seatron. This theme was meant to be based on a different planet with aliens and underwater astronauts. It was supposed to release a ton of new bricks and colors that had never been seen before in LEGO history. And according to a source at LEGO, they literally had over 10 sets ready to go. The downfall of this theme actually came from another set, the Futuron. This was a classic space theme which was apparently too similar to the Seatron, so unfortunately it got cancelled. The LEGO Maya Mystica was a LEGO game that was set to release in the summer of 2012. It featured pyramids, Mayan minifigures, and a LEGO dice that is only ever seen in a few LEGO board games. LEGO never gave a reason for this set being cancelled, but one popular opinion is that this set was simply changed to be The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. You see, right before the release of Maya Mystica, LEGO actually made a deal with The Hobbit for a new set. So instead of making a whole new set, they decided to just cancel the Maya Mystica and change it into a Hobbit game. I mean, take a look at these two sets. Other than the characters, they're basically identical, but the sets that we have coming up are definitely not identical because we're about to go over literal LEGO robots. But first, let's take a look at this set that could have been one of LEGO's best sellers. This is the Overwatch 2 LEGO set. It was originally set for release in February of 2022 to build anticipation for the game's release, but was delayed due to a scandal involving harassment and discrimination at the headquarters of Activision, the company that was making Overwatch. Following this scandal, along with the fact that Overwatch 2 was just not living up to its projected hype, this set never ended up seeing the light of day. In 2010, LEGO released an MMO game called LEGO Universe, and it was, well, it was underwhelming to say the least. It lasted just 15 months before all the servers were shut down for good. But a really cool feature that was offered along with this was the ability to get a custom minifigure of your in-game character. Obviously, this feature was removed when all of the servers shut down, but it allowed literally anyone to get any LEGO minifigure they wanted, which led to some interesting creations. But this next set can technically be bought even though it was never actually released. The LEGO Mr. and Mrs. Claus set was supposed to be one of 2 gift sets that you could have gotten with a purchase on Black Friday in 2021, but for some unknown reason, it was canceled right before Black Friday. Despite that, there are a few copies floating around the internet and being sold for around $500. So if you're ballin' and want to get a few expensive minifigures, you know what to do. But if you have $0 to spend and want some cool LEGO stuff for free, then hit that subscribe button because I'm dropping completely free LEGO videos for you guys every 4 days. This next set is probably the most controversial on this entire list. The LEGO Indiana Jones Temple of Doom set depicted one of the most important scenes in the movie, and fans had waited a long time for this set's release. The cancellation is one of the only ones that caused any real backlash in the LEGO community. You see, originally the set was supposed to come out in 2022, but it was delayed so that it could be released on the franchise's 40th anniversary, which I'll admit would have made a lot of sense. But after waiting almost a year after its initial reveal, LEGO announced that the set would not be released to the public, and there are rumors that it is because of the racist design of the main villain. This next LEGO item is honestly a little unsettling. The Cybots were LEGO's first attempt to use the ball joints that would later be used in the Technic and Slizzer LEGO games. But what's interesting is not that it was discontinued, but why it was ever made in the first place. You see, LEGO claimed that this product was never meant to be sold and was just made as a prototype to test the ball joints. And when you look at the prototype, this makes sense because, well, I mean, it just looks terrible. It makes you wonder why they ever went through all the trouble of creating a whole new theme if it was never their intention to release it to the public. Either way, we never got this LEGO theme, and the likelihood of it ever returning is little to none. And as bad as it may have been, it did bring us the Technic sets. So I guess it wasn't all bad. bad. The Galador Mokar was an unreleased set in the Galador theme that depicted Nick Bluetooth's motorcycle from the comics and was supposed to be released along with the TV show, but the TV show ended up being cancelled along with this set. I talked more about the Galador theme in my last video, so once you finish this video, go and check that one out. It's weird. But let's move on to the LEGO Las Vegas set, which was actually cancelled for a pretty sad reason. This was supposed to be released in mid-2017, but while it was still in production, a tragic shooting happened at the Mandalay Bay Hotel, hurting over 500 people. After this, LEGO immediately canceled the set and revised it to not include the hotel. The new set would feature the Bellagio Hotel and Casino. Yeah, I think LEGO definitely made the right call here. But while that set being canceled makes sense, this one definitely does not. The LEGO Crooks Hideout was supposedly canceled because it wasn't in line with the values of the LEGO City theme. LEGO said that having criminals in LEGO City didn't fit in with the brand, but what's strange is that if we look at sets that LEGO has released in the past, they have had no problems with LEGO City sets with criminals. There are several sets that feature things such as robberies and car chases, so why would LEGO just randomly decide that they didn't want criminals in their sets? Speaking of LEGO sets getting canceled for stupid reasons, this is the LEGO Star Wars Geonosis Arena set. This set was built around the scene from Episode 3 where Obi-Wan and Padme are defending themselves against some crazy-looking creatures in the Geonosis Arena. It's a really cool scene that a lot of fans definitely would have enjoyed, but LEGO canceled the set because they didn't think it would sell, despite it being one of the coolest scenes in one of the biggest movies of all time. Thankfully, the set was later revised and released to the public. Speaking of Star Wars, let's talk about the LEGO Star Wars Yavin 4, which has a pretty interesting story behind it. So, this set was supposed to be released in March of 2022, and despite having some of the coolest architecture across all the Star Wars sets, LEGO decided to cancel it. It was disappointing to see this set go, but not all hope is lost. There are talks of this set returning in late 2023. These are 10 Skibidi Toilet LEGO creations, starting off with this YouTuber Nitro Bricks, who built an entire scene from the series. Everything from huge Skibidi toilets to the G-Man toilet and even a whole army of cameramen. I mean, this build has everything. And take a look at the final creation. This super cool fight scene actually looks like something from the series. I forgot to mention this, but I'll be ranking each of these Skibidi LEGO creations on a tier list, and this one is gonna go right in B tier. This video by Kobe Official is a handmade stop-motion recreation of Skibidi Toilet Episode 2. Just like the actual episode, it shows 2 regular Skibidis in urinals and 1 female Skibidi in between them. The attention to detail is awesome though. With the LEGO urinal to match the video and the picture in the back, this build is actually super accurate. The quality isn't anything that good though, so I'm gonna put it in C tier. But I promise you, these animations are only going to get better. This YouTuber named Brickfolk built a whole army of Skibidi toilets with everything from the urinal Skibidi to the policeman and so many more. But it doesn't stop there. He also built the Cameraman Army, Cameraman Titan, Titan Speaker Man, Titan TV Man, and Titan Cinema Man. One of the coolest things about these videos is that Brickfolk included every single LEGO piece needed to make these figures. So if you wanted to, you could literally build them yourself. So far, this is definitely the highest quality creation that we've looked at, so I'm gonna put it in A. This next video has some of the most unique Skibidi Toilet LEGO builds that I have ever seen. It's a LEGO noob versus pro versus hacker competition, with the Titan Speaker Man from Skibidi Toilet. This was created by a YouTuber named 3-Way Gaming, and while the noob just looks like a traffic light on a toilet, the pro version actually looks super cool. With 4 speakers around the main head, it looks just as menacing as the character from the series. But it only gets crazier, because the hacker is a whole LEGO mural with 5 massive speakers behind the toilet. In another video, 3-Way Gaming recreated episode 57 of Skibidi Toilet, completely with LEGO. It was a stop-motion animation using characters and figures that he built, and the video is actually really cool. Now, there is a video coming up that recreates the series as a full-on 3D animation, so stick around for that. But for now, I think we're gonna go with B tier. Similar to Brickfolk, this creator also made a tutorial on how to build a bunch of characters from the series. Jaxish started with the cameraman, and after creating 2 pretty accurate minifigures, he moved on to the TV man. This build was definitely way harder to find the right pieces for, but the final result was actually really well made. He also built a bunch of smaller Skibidi toilets, and to finish it off, created a huge Titan speaker man. These builds were awesome, and he even took the time to recreate a few scenes from the show. So I'm gonna put this right here. This LEGO creation by Brick and Brick shows a fight scene between the TV Titan man and the Titan speaker man. This is a pretty cool concept, and the characters themselves are actually super impressive. He has a bunch of other videos recreating important scenes from the series, but because of the quality, I just can't give it more than a C. Sorry. Take a look at this video from Icarus Bricks, where he built 5 different characters from the series out of LEGO. He started by creating 3 large Skibidi toilets and a small army of cameramen, and then destroying them. Next up, Icarus built the large speaker man, some toilet parasites, and even the Titan TV man. He had one of the highest quality videos on this list, and for that, he's going in A tier. There's a creator who literally reanimates full Skibidi toilet episodes in LEGO, which I promise we'll get into soon. But first, here's another video from Nitro Bricks, where he builds every single member of the Skibidi toilet army out of Legos. One of the best parts about this video is that Nitro actually shows every single part of the build, even going as far as making the full video stop motion, with everything from the base of the toilet itself to the awesome Skibidi head and even G-Man's creepy glasses. We can see exactly how he builds everything. He started with the classic G-Man toilet, then moved on to a police Skibidi, and a bunch more. Overall, this was a super cool and actually kinda helpful video, so I'm gonna give it a B. This is a working LEGO Skibidi toilet. A YouTuber named Brickle built a small Skibidi toilet minifigure and a massive LEGO Skibidi toilet. The coolest thing about the toilet is that it had its own unique LEGO flush button, which, when pressed and pulled, can move the Skibidi head up and down just like a real-life toilet. Brickle also has some other crazy unique LEGO builds, like this working LEGO vending machine, a gumball machine, and even a Rubik's Cube. Overall, these ideas are super unique, so it's going into the A tier. This Skibidi toilet animation is yet another stop-motion video, this time recreating the first ever Skibidi toilet episode. While the quality isn't the best, there is some crazy attention to detail, like the picture on the wall next to the toilet, which is in the exact same position as the picture in the original episode. Overall, it is pretty cool, but I'm gonna go with C. This YouTube channel, Brick Boomverse, literally remakes every single Skibidi toilet animation in LEGO. I mean, look at these 2 episodes side by side. They're literally identical, except one of them is 100% LEGO. They have everything from LEGO cameramen to giant LEGO Skibidi toilets. They've only been going for about a month and already have nearly 100,000 subscribers, and the award for the highest quality Skibidi toilet LEGO videos. They started by doing cool stuff like making Sonic Skibidi toilets in LEGO, and have since moved on to recreating entire episodes. The channel also has shorts, which are just as good, if not better. Not only is it the highest quality animation that we've looked at so far, it's also the most accurate representation of the Skibidi toilet series. And because of that, I'm gonna have to put it in the S tier. And here's the final list. The Galador movie was released way back in 2002, and because of all the hype around it, LEGO decided to create a few minifigures of the characters. The only problem was that they turned out like this. Apparently, this was LEGO's attempt to steal away some of Barbie's audience, and as we can tell, they completely failed. Number 2, the LEGO Donut. Now, circles are already pretty rare in the LEGO brick world, but this might be one of the craziest. A YouTuber named Brickbending stuck together 190 different LEGO semicircles to create this build. He started by putting 2 on an angle and then continuing until he had 2 halves of the donut. Then he just clicked them together. The final build was able to spin and roll across the table without even a small crack. He even slightly disassembled it and then turned it into an infinity sign. I mean, what can't this guy do? Number 3, Belleville. Since 2012, LEGO has made a bunch of LEGO Friends sets sets to appeal to younger girls. But I bet you didn't know the complete disaster that caused this. Well, take a look at Belleville, the massively successful line of sets that LEGO sold between 1994 and 2009. These featured the exclusive Belleville minifigures, which, just like the Galador minifigures, look absolutely nothing like the LEGO minifigures today. I mean, imagine if LEGO continued that design style forever. All of the Ninjago characters would have looked like mini Barbie dolls. The set had a pretty good run, but was eventually discontinued, and looking back now, I have no idea why this was ever approved. Number 4. The LEGO Znap. Along with being one of the hardest LEGO collections to pronounce, the Znap theme was a short-lived idea from LEGO during the 1990s to compete with another huge toy company called K'NEX. K'NEX featured toys kinda like LEGOs, except instead of bricks, they were little webby pieces of plastic that attached onto each other on the ends. The LEGO Znap only ever received 19 sets and was taken off the shelves after just 1 year of being sold. According to a former LEGO employee, Znap was a product line that almost ruined the LEGO company, along with other unpopular collections offered in the late 90s. Number 5. Jack Stone. This collection was focused around a specific character named, you guessed it, Jack Stone. Depending on the set you bought, Jack could be a policeman, a firefighter, a pilot, or any number of other action-packed jobs. He could basically do it all. But one thing he couldn't do was look normal. Kids literally refused to buy the set because they said the way his face was printed looked weird. So I guess we won't ever see Jack on the shelves again. But from a cursed LEGO Mr. Beast to LEGO furries, these sets are only going to get weirder. Number 6. Scala. Scala was a short-lived theme offered by LEGO to appeal to the young girl audience. It was kind of like the Belleville collection, except some of the Belleville sets actually looked normal. There were a lot of Scala sets produced, so I'm just going to show you the worst one, Summer Day Out. The box shows a minifigure named Baby Thomas, whose eyes literally stare straight into your soul. If I bought my kid this, he'd probably poop his pants. Come on, LEGO. Number 7. Mr. Beast. With tons of celebrities and even a few influencers getting to collaborate with LEGO recently, it's no secret that a LEGO Mr. Beast would literally fly off shelves, especially since Mr. Beast has literally never released a toy. Well, what if I told you that there is not only a LEGO Mr. Beast, but also LEGO versions of Chandler, Chris, and Carl? I have no idea why this guy left out Nolan. That's kind of messed up. This fan-made collection may look normal, but the fact is that from Mr. Beast's weird-looking legs to Chandler's evil-looking facial hair and smile, there is a lot that needs to be changed before this ever becomes an official set. Number 8. The Angel Eye. LEGO builds can already get pretty weird, but when you combine 1,221 bricks with a YouTuber and a 3D design software, yeah, this happens. A YouTuber named Daniel Kraft made a video bringing his fans' LEGO ideas to life, and let's just say it would be better if he had never touched this one. A fan commented on a previous video asking Daniel to create a biblically accurate angel, and being the great YouTuber that he is, he did just that. Around 1,200 blocks later, we got this. And in Daniel's words,
"If I was still a kid and I got this for Christmas, I'd probably cry."
Number 9. Fabuland. This is easily the creepiest LEGO collection I've ever seen. The minifigures look less like animals and more like plastic furries. These sets first hit shelves in 1979 and stuck around until 1989, making it one of LEGO's longest-lasting original collections ever. Sealed copies of these sets can go for some pretty crazy money, but I honestly think I would literally take any minifigure over any of these. I mean, come on, look at that bunny's face. I never thought I could be jump scared by a LEGO set, but here we are. And believe it or not, we have even more crazy sets coming up. I can't spoil any more, but hit that subscribe button and let's get back to the video. Number 10. Feastables. In July of 2022, a few months after Feastables first released, a LEGO YouTuber by the name of Brick Science, he started by constructing a frame, then building a catapult, and finally, the build was done. Not. Brick Science ended up building a full contraption just to roll out money, and decked the whole thing out in Feastables. Now the build was done, and surprisingly, it actually worked. This is easily one of the weirdest, but also coolest LEGO designs we've looked at so far. Number 11. Egghead. If you ever watched Batman growing up, there's a small chance you've seen Egghead. This set was released to tie in with the LEGO Batman movie's release, and is too wild to ignore. The Egghead mech is one of the most niche sets in LEGO history. It's too wild for kids to recognize, and it's too goofy for most comic fans. It's no surprise surprised that this set barely sold at all, and was unfortunately taken off shelves shortly after. Number 12. Squidward. Speaking of side characters from popular shows, this is the most cursed minifigure of all time. Whenever you hear LEGO Squidward, you're probably thinking of something like this, but one day, LEGO decided to completely switch things up and drop the weirdest, most cursed Squidward of all time. From an insanely evil smile to cracked out eyes, and obviously the classic LEGO head. It is no surprise that LEGO instantly discontinued this set. Number 13. Batman. It seems like the area where LEGO has the most fails is in the superhero one, and this is no different. Every few years, it seems like LEGO tries to push a line of buildable action figures, and unless those figures are part of the Bionicle line, they almost always flop. Kind of like this Batman that was released in 2012. Does it look cool? Yeah. Does it look like a LEGO figure at all? No. Speaking of LEGO sets that barely look like LEGO sets, this is the Angry Birds collection. Now, don't get me wrong, this collection is awesome, and as a kid, seeing two of my favorite brands collab was pretty cool, but the Mighty Eagle and the Green Pigs don't look like they belong there at all. The pigs are especially super cursed. That isn't all though, because the figures and the builds get even funnier as we look at other sets in the collection. I mean, look at this yellow guy. Bro looks lost. Either way, this is definitely one of the coolest collections. It just looks a little odd. Number 15. The Nesquik Bunny. Released exclusively in New Zealand, Australia, and Germany from 2001 to 2003, this beloved Nestle mascot appeared in 3 sets. One as a race car driver, one as a movie star, and another one on his own as just a minifigure in a bag. Now, he may look normal on the surface, but please do not take off the headpiece, because if you do, this is what you're gonna see. Look how cursed that face is. It doesn't fit at all. Pale white, staring right into your soul. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it and love Legos, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the video on screen. See you next time!